Nation's red. I would like to throw things over to our runners, mchan, and the commentator Primal Pizza for Pokemon Yellow. Enjoy the run.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Fastest FursFall Festival, and this is going to be my speedrun of Pokemon Yellow Special Pikachu Edition for the Game Boy Color. And would my commentator please introduce himself?
Hello, I'm Primal Pizza.
Oh, okay. But yeah, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, yeah, I'm Primal. I ran this game for a little while. Not quite as much as mchan has, but yeah, this is a Game Boy Color game. Was released, I believe, in 1999. Says right there.
Yeah, and Primal's really good at Pokemon games, so he'll probably do a better job at explaining things than I am. Anyway, so as the host has mentioned, there are ongoing incentives. One of them is actually I need like right now. Who am I naming my rival Blue?
All right, we have that covered. And the rival bid war is closed. We still have 3 other naming bid wars open. Rival is going to be, drumroll please, to no one's surprise, Andy. A-N-D-Y.
Andy.
Let's go, Andy.
All right, so yeah, and then there's also the Charmander, the Pidgey, and the Lapras names coming up, and then there's also a bid war between the fossils, Helix and Dome Fossil. All those will be ongoing as the run goes on, so please donate for those incentives, as well as donate to the charity, of course, since we're raising for a great cause. So, with that being said, I think we can go ahead and get started. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, so Pokemon Yellow is the definitive version of Red and Blue in the first generation. A lot of people, when they watch speedruns of the first generation Pokemon games, they are mainly familiar with Red and Blue. And so you might think that Yellow is similar, and it is similar as far as getting to the game, but as a speedrun, it's actually very different. The first major difference is actually right away in the very beginning of the game, where normally you have an option between choosing Squirtle, Charmander, and Bulbasaur, but here in Yellow, you don't get an option. You start off with Pikachu, and then Andy is going to have an Eevee, so the team that Andy is going to be using throughout the entire game isn't immediately obvious. So Oak's going to be catching a Pikachu, and he's going to give it to us pretty shortly, and then Andy's going to have an Eevee. So the way the Andy's team works in Yellow determines how the very first fight goes. If you win the first fight, then Andy will have a Flareon. If you lose the fight, then Andy will have a Vaporeon. And so there's 2 different routes depending on how the first fight goes. You want to have Flareon, because then you have more options, and the EXP routing works out a lot better for if Andy has Flareon. With Vaporeon, you have to get more items and use more items, and you also have to make up more experience. So you don't really want to you don't want Andy to have Vaporeon at all.
It's kind of interesting from a game design perspective how the rival is utilized in this game.
Yeah.
Because what he evolves his Eevee into is based on kind of the first 2 fights. The second one is optional, so we're not going to be fighting that, which in this case counts as a loss. But if you win both, he'll evolve the Eevee into Jolteon, which Pikachu is not very effective against. And if you lose both fights, so it's kind of like a difficulty setting in a way. Ooh, very good start.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eevee can do a lot of damage really fast, especially if it piles up a lot of tail whips right here. But looks like, yeah, We're gonna make it out unscathed.
Yeah, damageless. So now Andy is gonna be having Flareon. So that's what we want to see. So this is why. So it is actually faster to lose immediately because then you skip the Pikachu leveling up as well as the learning move. Of course, the disadvantages that I explained earlier with Vaporeon will come much later in the run. So you save time immediately, but then you lose time everywhere else. Spoilers, this is actually the only point where we're going to be using Pikachu at all. If you've ever played this game, then you know that Pikachu has his first roadblock immediately, and that is the first gym leader, Brock. Brock uses Rock-type Pokemon, and Pikachu cannot really do anything against Rock-type Pokemon. So if you were to use Pikachu throughout Brock, then it takes like so many minutes, and it's not very efficient. So we do have to come up with an alternative.
Yeah, Pikachu is just so incredibly bad in this game. If you've played it casually, it's actually pretty decent, obviously besides Brock, for like the early game. But kind of towards the end of the game, Pikachu starts to get really bad. It just does not have the stats required to reliably beat any of the late game, especially since they made the great design choice in this game that this Pikachu cannot be evolved. You can't get a Raichu.
Yeah, so we do have to come up with an alternative. Which fortunately, the alternative is we have a few options. You might know that there's 3 different Pokemon that can stand a decent chance against Brock. There's a Caterpie, which you can evolve to Butterfree. There's also Mankey, and then there's also Nidoran Male. And of the 3 Pokemon, we're going to be using Nidoran Male. Nidoran Male is very busted throughout Generation 1, and it kind of falls behind a little bit early, but as we get through the game, this Nidoran Male gets more and more busted.
Yeah, Nidoran is just absolutely insane in every single Generation 1 game, due to a number of factors. You can evolve it very, very early, and it has just one of the most insane move pools in the entire game.
Yeah, exactly.
You can learn a lot of moves that it really should not be able to learn, but it does anyway for some reason.
So we're about to head back to Viridian City after running our short errand to Oak there. So to find a good Nidoran Male, it's about a 5% chance to find one, but what we're going to be doing to increase our odds is something called RNG manipulation. Would you like to explain how RNG manipulation works?
Yeah, sure. So RNG manipulation in this game, kind of the way it works is that by hard resetting the console or emulator, you can set the RNG to kind of a known state, and by doing the same actions at the same time, you can generate the same outcome. Almost always. And due to being able to buffer inputs in this game has like a really crazy buffering system. You can kind of reliably input things frame perfectly, and we have a lot of very talented programmers in the Gen 1 community that have made a lot of very good, very reliable RNG manips for this game, and you're going to see the first one coming right up here in this next patch of grass.
Yep.
It's going to generate a level 6 Nidoran Male with very, very good stats.
Yeah, and they're not perfect. Wild Pokemon cannot have perfect stats, but they can be close to perfect.
Yep, it's just due to a very technical reason that I don't really have the brain power to explain. There we go. We got our Nidoran encounter, and
Okay, hopefully that's good. Okay. So this is why we buy extra balls here. So.
okay, this Manip is routed to catch the Nidoran, but that does require a very precise bag input. So hopefully we get it this time.
Okay, there we go. Nice.
Very nice.
So we still got one Pokeball left for Pidgey, so that's good. If that catch failed, then I would have reset because I do need that one Pokeball.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're gonna check the stats here just to make sure that this is a good Nidoran because it is possible that it's good. So the run continues.
Very nice. It is not super common, but it is possible to get what we call an IGT, which is when the game generates the wrong Nidoran. We call it IGT because it has to do with the in-game timer that counts your hours, minutes, seconds, and frames spent in the game. That factors into RNG slightly. So if you save on like a bad frame or something, that can just make the manip not work. Or you get a Nidoran.
So there's RNG within RNG manipulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we like this game.
So this trainer is an optional right here. However, we are fighting it because we need Nidoran to get to level 12 before Brock, because then it learns Double Kick, which is a fighting type move, super effective against rocks. And without Double Kick, Brock would be nearly impossible.
Yeah.
And super slow.
Yeah, so there's 4 trainers here in Viridian Forest, but we're gonna be fighting 3 of them. The very last trainer is the only required trainer. Like Pribo said, if we just go through this forest as fast as we can, then we'd be significantly underleveled for Brock. Normally in Pokemon speedruns, you don't want to fight optional trainers because that's obviously slower, but this early experience is very much worth it.
Definitely helps the section after Brock to be a lot better than it would be otherwise because you're higher leveled.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so in red, which I'm going to be referring red and blue to from now on because red is preferred in the original version. But in red, you start with Squirtle, so you don't even have to grind Squirtle at all. So you can just go through this forest as fast as you can.
Yep, but in yellow, yellow is slower here, which is kind of a common theme throughout the game. In most situations, yellow is quite a bit slower than red, because yellow is a Game Boy Color game. Obviously, it has color. And the way they did that is kind of strange. So the original Japanese release was an original Game Boy game, because it released before the Game Boy Color came out. But before it was localized internationally, the Game Boy Color was released. So they kind of just like hacked color in, and they didn't do a very good job because this game is laggy as heck. There is so much lag in so many places. The game just generally runs a lot slower than red.
Real quick, what's currently winning for Pidgey? You don't have to cut it off now, but what's currently winning right now?
So for Pidgey, you're wanting to know what the name incentive is right now?
Yeah, what is it currently winning?
The dollar amount or the actual name?
The name.
Well, the name as an anagram would be YDNA, but if you spelled it forward, it would be Andy.
YDNA. All right.
I think that's what an anagram is. I'm not quite positive, but I'm gonna go with it. So.
Okay. All right. So come up is a Forest Manip, and I do need focus time for this. So.
Nice encounter on that tile.
Yeah.
That is the first tile you could possibly get an encounter on.
Okay, very nice. So we got the Pidgey encounter here. Now I can do a YOLO ball here, just like what I did with Nidoran, but it's not as important, so I'm just gonna weaken it.
Yeah, with only one ball, you don't really want to risk having to do the whole manip again.
Yeah, no.
It's like I believe for this manip, it's a 3-frame window to open the bag.
Okay, so YDNA, right?
No, it's actually Andy. I was just I was trying to make it difficult because Andy just keeps popping up. So
okay.
And you might have missed it right there, but mchan just picked up a potion, and because of the music transition from the battle to overworld music, it jingle skipped the about 2.5-second jingle that the potion pickup would have had, just saving a little bit of time. It's another cool thing about this manip.
Something else to note about RNG Nips is that it looks like I am moving in like a very specific way, and yes, I am, but I'm also pressing A on very specific tiles, and that basically delays the game because the game is trying to track for a hidden item. But those A presses are very important to advance the RNG values that we need.
Yeah, if you don't do the A presses, the manip could fail in seemingly random spots.
Alright, so we got out of the forest there. Got only like the one extra encounter. The encounter rate in Viridian Forest is pretty ridiculous in yellow, but fortunately we only got away with one encounter. So here we are in Pewter City, and I'm going to be depositing Pikachu. And some people don't really get happy with that, but we deposit Pikachu because Pikachu actually generates extra cutscenes. So it's actually worth depositing Pikachu and not ever use Pikachu ever again.
Yeah, Pikachu is so bad. No one wants to see it. I think it... I am unsure of this myself, but I was told that Pikachu actually, like, makes the IGT rate worse on like Moon Manip and stuff.
I'm not sure. I have not tried it. But anyway, so here we are we're gonna be heading to the first gym, Pewter City Gym, and I'm gonna be doing my first safety save. This fight isn't terribly bad, but you could die from crits, which I'll explain later. But I will be safety saving throughout the game, as with if you've ever seen Pokemon speedruns in marathons. In PB attempts, you generally don't save at all because it's faster to not die. But in marathon, some fights can just kill you without anything you can do about it. So it is worth saving in a marathon.
Yeah, in Yellow in particular, there's just a lot of fights where even if you have revives, there's not much you can do to recover from a death. Especially for a lot of the late game fights. They increase the levels a lot from Red and Blue, and gave the trainers actual movesets. Alright, very nice. You can see mchan's in red bar right now. His HP is low, and that actually jingle skips a lot of things right now. Jingle skip both the level up and the learning of double kick. They go by so fast.
Yep, so that saves like 6 seconds right there. It also skips outgoing cries as well, so you do save a few frames if you can keep red bar throughout fights. It's pretty risky, but it's a pretty high risk, high reward type of thing. It's not really that important in yellow, but in red it saves a lot of time.
Alright, so now we got Brock, which is a little bit of a troll. Geodude's not a problem at all, just dies to 2 double kicks. But Onyx can definitely cause problems.
Yeah, so Geodude has Tackle only. Onyx has Tackle, Screech, Bite, and Bind. What you don't want to see is Bind, as it's a trap move, and trap moves, okay, we got Bind, fantastic, and a crit too, so that means all these Binds are crits. Bind is a trap move. In Gen 1, trap moves basically lock you in place, and you're just trapped there for like between 2 and 5 turns.
No. He got Screech too. Oh
man. Alright, I think I have to heal.
Yeah, please heal.
This is not going well. Alright.
Even double screech. Okay. Just oh boy.
Oh my
you
gosh.
gotta heal this.
Yeah.
Alright, just use screech again and it'll be fine.
I've already have to use up a lot of items.
Nice.
I'm gonna be low later.
Okay, you're
which
good
might be
now.
an issue. Oh my gosh.
No! Oh no, that's so bad. You gotta heal
God.
again. This is a horrible Brock.
Oh my god.
You gotta heal now.
Dude, I have like I only have one potion left. What am I gonna
This
do?
is wacky. What?
Okay. There.
Holy moly, that is one of the worst fights I've seen. That bind miss was so clutch. Bind is, I believe, 85% accurate, I want to say? Might be 75. I get it confused with rap. Oh boy.
Yes, this is also part of the manip. Yeah. All right, but yeah, so that's how terrible Brock can go sometimes, and well, you just saw a very good example of that. Unfortunately, I do have one potion, which is actually very unfortunate. So I have to figure out what I'm gonna do later on. Anyway, so we got the when you defeat a gym leader, you do get a badge from them. Which introduces a mechanic known as badge boosting. In every generation except for one, badge boosting increases the type of badge that you got by like 10%. So like if this was Gen 2, then every rock type move would do like 10% more damage. But here in Gen 1, they kind of increase the stat of that the badge is supposed to increase. So would you like to explain more about that?
Yeah, badge boosts in this game work a little wacky. So Brock's badge raises attack. So every time we enter battle, we get a 12.5% boost to its attack, to our attack. And, but these badge boosts work a little wacky in that whenever one of your other stats is changed, for example, like if this Caterpie uses String Shot to lower our speed, which it didn't, that badge boost, that 12.5% attack boost, is actually reapplied cumulatively. So, and that can be activated by any change of stats. Like, you using a boosting move, enemy, like, lowering your stats, or you using, like, an X item. And that's very important throughout, especially the later parts of the run.
So this is a very notorious trainer in Red, which normally wouldn't be... Okay, that's a death.
Oh, no.
Okay, so, I really want to use my last potion. Not sure if I still want to right now. Yeah, Rattata's about... The short guy Rattata is about 1 in 3 to use Quick Attack there. And it does exactly 7 damage. So let's see how well this will. Okay, there. No quick attack this time. So
Okay.
so we're pretty much out of death range there.
Use the age-old strategy of save scumming.
I'm very low on healing items, so I do have to opt for more saves than I need to. Oh my goodness.
Oh no, dude. Okay, just hope for
Okay.
for not a long rap. Okay, very good.
Oh, I missed the range.
No.
Okay. I have to use my last potion. This is really bad.
You just gotta. You gotta make up the bag space somehow.
I know.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, so in a situation that I have never been in before, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a situation that I've never been in before, but because normally if things go this poorly, you just reset, but
Can't really do that here.
this is a marathon, so you're gonna have to. So it's really interesting sometimes watching Pokemon speedruns in a marathon where you're in a situation that you normally reset over, but you don't really have that option.
You can see that Weedle just barely did not die. That Weedle is actually a range to die to Horn attack. Attacks don't always do the same damage every time in this game. It's kind of like a range between 85 and 100% of the damage the attack would do. But that Weedle, you can see mchan finished it off with double kick, which might seem counterintuitive since it's not very effective. But there's actually two types of animations moves have. There's like a flash animation that you can see Horn Attack has where the enemy Pokemon flashes, that's really slow. And then there's a shake animation, like when you use double kick, that the screen just shakes, and it's about almost a full second faster, I believe.
Yeah, and even with the not very effective text, it still saves time over using a regular move. So it's one of those things that you you take note of in order to like optimize your times, and all those things like add up over the course of the run. So we're going to evolve our Nidoran now. So now we have a Nidorino. And very shortly, we are going to be evolving to Nidoking. So that's going to be... we're going to have a Tier 3 evolution Pokemon like very early. And one of the reasons why Nidoking is a really good Pokemon. Yellow is one of the very few Pokemon games where throughout its speedrunning history, we've never changed which Pokemon to use.
Yep, it has always been Nidoking. Even in Red, way back when, the Pokemon used for speedruns used to be Blastoise. And then optimizations were found that made Nidoking the clear choice. But for Yellow, it's always been Nidoking. It's just so much faster than everything else.
Yeah. Alright, so we're coming up to... so that was the last trainer that we're going to be fighting. And coming up is our next dungeon, Mount Moon. Mount Moon has the final manipulation that we're going to be doing throughout the run. We're going to be manipulating 0 encounters throughout the entirety of the dungeon. It is the longest manip, the hardest manip, also the most stressful, more likely to mess up because you're nervous, but yeah, we'll see what happens here. Fortunately, if I miss this one, then it's not super important.
Alright, gonna be quiet here, give him a chance of time to focus.
Okay, there it is.
Very nice. Let's go.
Yeah.
That manip is, I believe, like 98% to work, which is actually insane for an RNG
it's
manip
really good.
A great job. And if you have a moment, could we read a few donations?
Real quick, which fossil am I going to be getting?
So the fossil you'll be getting is going to be, well, we've got a big lead here. Dome Fossil is going to be the
Dome Fossil.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay to take a couple donations?
Yeah, donations are fine.
Okay, this will be 2 ones. We've got one from Beat Fizzle, donating $32, saying, here's a donation for Pokemon number 32, the Nidoran male, aka Andy. And then the second one's from JD Puppy, donating $10, all caps, in my best Scottish voice, Andy, 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 Andy. Thank you for that donation, JD Puppy.
So we did pick up the Moonstone during that manipulation, and we used that to evolve Nidorino to a Nidoking, so this is the point where Nidoking is going to get very busted. Alright, so we're gonna get the Dome Fossil. It loses about a few seconds because the trainer here, he has to go around me and then grab the Helix Fossil. So, unfortunately, no Praise Helix, but what can you do?
Yep, got a bunch of contrarians here, apparently. So now we got the first of a few Jesse and James fights in Yellow to kind of make it more like the anime. They added Jesse and James in certain places instead of regular Rocket trainers.
Yeah, so there's a missing Team Rocket trainer if you've played Red, and that gets replaced with Jesse and James. They appear 4 times, but you're only gonna be fighting them 3 times in this run. And Jesse and James, they're not very exciting.
Yeah, and all the fights, they're not really dangerous. They're not really a threat, so I guess it is pretty accurate to the anime.
Ooh, that's a very good crit right there.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, that coughing is a really, really bad range to 2-shot normally, but that crit guarantees the 2-shot.
Yep.
You crit the last coughing too, which is really nice.
Yeah. Oh.
I was about to say this is a really good moon, but still pretty good.
Okay, so out of Mount Moon now. So there are no more manipulations from here on out. Usually this is the point where once you get past Mount Moon, then you can kind of breathe a sigh of relief as you got past, probably in my opinion, like the hardest part, which is of course executing the manips. So now we're going to Cerulean City, and we're going to heal up at the Pokemon Center. As well, first off, I have like no horn attacks, so we do need our horn attack power points back so we can use them for this very long part of the game. There's also the gym here, which we're not going to do right away, and we do have to go up to the top anyway, so we may as well just go to the top.
Oh, mchan, you could buy potions here if you want, and then get the underground nugget.
All right, yeah, let's do that.
That's the bike shop.
Oh.
No instant text in this game.
Instant text? Yeah, no instant text in yeah, there's a trick in Red and Blue known as instant text, which let's buy probably 4. I think 4 is good. There's a trick in Red and Blue called instant text, where it makes all the texts appear at once, and that does save about a few minutes over the course of the run, but it's very risky because you can lose instant text by accidentally opening up any menu, and when you're doing attempts in Red, you want to try and keep instant text as much as possible, so even if you're low on HP and you need to heal, you try not to heal in order to keep instant text as much as possible, which is very risky. But yeah, in Yellow, instant text does not exist at all. So if in a situation where I need to heal, then I can't. I do have that option here in Yellow.
Especially since you have potions now.
Yeah, I do have potions now. So this is Andy, round 2. And in a lot of Pokemon speedruns, your second rival is very scary, because this is the point where the game kind of starts to challenge you quite a bit. Here in this fight, Andy isn't going to kill us, but is very likely to lose a lot of time, which almost happened there.
Very nice.
This is a really good fight now. So we have well, there's still another chance for us to get Sand Attack, which is by the Eevee. If we don't if we don't defeat the Eevee in one turn. So there's 2 opportunities to get Sand Attack, and it's kind of annoying. You lose quite a lot of time. Set accuracy is very broken in Gen 1, as when you get Sand Attack, you lose about 1/3 of your accuracy.
Yeah, you can see that Sand Attack from Sandshrew failed. When enemies use a stat lowering move in this game, it actually has a 25% chance of just straight up failing.
Yeah, and that's
really,
in the case
really
right
nice
there, that was very fortunate. Yeah, so that was Andy defeated right there, and now this is kind of a gauntlet of trainers. Starting up in Nugget Bridge, just 5 fights all in a row. So lots of trainer battles. You're much higher leveled in Yellow because we fought the extra trainers in Viridian Forest. But in Red, you're much lower leveled. So the fights are a little bit harder. Also, you have instant tech, so you could die basically on any of these fights, depending on how the second rival goes in Red. And then you also use a move called Mega Punch, which is 85% accurate.
Yeah, these fights in Yellow aren't really incredibly notable. You can get trolled on this fight in particular. This Pidgey right here is a range with Horn Attack. So hopefully we get it, because it does know Sand Attack. Very nice.
We got the range there. Yeah, very nice. This is what we like to call this crit bridge sometimes, because you just want to crit everything.
Yeah, critting things saves so much time. So we got one more fight here. He has 3 Pokemon. The Ekans, his second Pokemon, is another range with Horn Attack, and Ekans can be a little bit of a troll as well. It does know Wrap, which is like Bind. Oh wait, we did see Wrap. We did see Wrap on Short Style.
Yeah. And so far my trap move luck hasn't been very amazing, so...
Surely that means you won't see any more, though.
Okay, no Wrap. Alright.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty bad range. It's around 50%.
So right after this fight, we're going to be using the 2 rare candies that I got from Cerulean City as well as from Mount Moon, and that's going to bring us to level 23. And on level 23, Nidoking learns the only move that Nidoking learns, which is which is Thrash. Thrash is a 90 base power move, and it is also a move that hits for... I'm gonna do this real quick, just so it's... Okay. Just so it doesn't mess with my head. Thrash hits for between 3 and 4 turns. And there's a lot of the strats that we route in is if we know that we can defeat trainers within 3 turns or less, then it's worth using Thrash. There's one fight, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, where you have to rely on a 4-turn Thrash, and if you don't get the 4th turn, then you get confused, and it could be bad.
Yeah. Another good thing about Thrash is that it uses 1 PP for like 3 or 4 turns of damage, and you don't have to like go back in the fight menu and select a move. So it saves PP and saves time. It's like the ultimate speedrunning move.
Yeah, but it does fall back pretty quickly after a certain point, though. So you will not be seeing me use Thrash basically throughout the whole game.
So, when mchan used the rare candies right there, he was checking his stats as well. And actually, did you know when you got the Nidoran, because you checked stats immediately, like what special it was?
It was a 22 HP Nidoran, and so I got 47 for defensive special. So this is a 14 special Nidoking.
Yeah, there's actually 3 different Nidoran that can be generated normally in the Nidoran manip, and you don't know exactly which one you get until here. And they all have different special DVs, and that comes into play in like some later fights.
Yeah. What is the Charmander name?
So the Charmander name that we have for the Bid War, let's see here. Oh, okay, it's Andy.
What do you know?
This isn't going to get confusing or anything. Do we have time
really
to
gonna
quick
have a
donation
team
also?
of Andys? Yeah. From
Okay.
here on out, these fights are straightforward.
Fantastic, thank you. We've got a donation from Hello Boing. What a great name, Hello Boing. $20. Their comment is, thank you for this event. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. We appreciate that donation. And just to let you know that today the Fastest FursFall Fest is raising money for Trans Lifeline. Since 2014, Trans Lifeline's hotline has evolved from an entirely volunteer-run operation into a comprehensive resource that employs trans-identified staff and volunteers in a variety of roles. Hotline operators have already logged thousands of hours and are committed to being a reliable source for years to come, with your support. For more information, please visit translifeline.org.
So something I want to point out there with that hiker that I fought, this is actually the first point of the run where whether or not you're on the Vaporeon or Flareon route starts to matter. I'm on Flareon, so I fought the bottom hiker, but if you're on Vaporeon, then you want to fight the top hiker who has 2 Pokemon, so it's about like 20-ish seconds slower. But you want to fight the top hiker because later on you're going to be short on XP, and you need to be able to make up the XP on Vaporeon.
I'm curious because when I ran this game, I didn't take Vaporeon strats. Is that just because the rival's team is different?
Yes. So later on, your rival is going to have a Shelter on Vaporeon, whereas on Vaporeon, your rival will have a Vulpix, and Vulpix gives less EXP than Shelter.
I see. Yeah, the rival kind of rotates out his team based on what his Eevee evolves into. He has an electric type, he has a water type, and he has a fire type. And they rotate one out depending on what his Eevee evolves into. And the Pokemon have different experience values, so that can come into play. And different movesets.
Yeah, different movesets too.
Notably, if you're on Vaporeon strats, the rival has a Ninetales, which has quick attack, which can screw you over sometimes.
Alright, so we're approaching the end of this place now, and so we're about to talk to Bill. Bill, this is the first point where if you still have your Pikachu, then there's an extra cutscene here. Pikachu is going to wonder what in the world Bill is. In Fire and Leaf Green, he's a Clefairy. In Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, he's a Nidorino. I don't really know what he is in this game. It doesn't really matter. But, yeah, he's going to give us the ticket. And then after that, we're going to go back to Cerulean City and take on Misty. So, you could take on Misty right away. There's nothing stopping you. But, it's not worth doing it unless you can do it the way the task does it, which good luck on that. So, in old Yellow runs, or old Gen 1 runs in particular, without RNG manipulation, Misty was known as the hardest fight to survive, because if you were not faster than the Misty Starmie, then it is very hard to survive the fight. But thanks to RNG manipulation, we actually outspeed Misty Starmie by exactly 1 speed value. So but it's still really hard. It's easy to execute in the fact that all you do is thrash, and then you hope to win. That's it.
Yeah, it's kind of a lottery what you get, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Starmie knows Water Gun and Bubble Beam will use either at random, and Misty loves to crit, because critical hit rates in this game are based on base speed, and Starmie's very fast, so it crits a lot. And Bubble Beam can also speed fall, which is really bad.
And Misty can also use an X defend, which means that it's harder to hit the Starmie, and in Starmie is sometimes a 4-turn fight if Misty can it uses an X defend, and if you don't get the 4th turn, then you have to swap out. Alright, so we're definitely gonna save for Misty. Alright, so I did die to Shorts Guy earlier, and what I wanted to say a little earlier before my run got super chaotic early on is I am of course gonna die. I'm probably gonna die a few more times as the run goes. And so to make the run interesting, I want the chat to participate in this as well, but I'm gonna donate $4 per death. So we're already 1 death down, so I already owe $4, and I hope the chat can participate in this as well.
Let's go. I'll match that as well.
Alright, so here's the Starmie. X defend, please crit.
Oh boy.
Okay, let's go.
Nice, that's so good. Damage
Yeah, so
Misty.
that didn't look like anything, but that fight can go so many ways. Water Gun is probably the best case scenario in normal circumstances, because Bubble Beam can lower your speed, and that would mean that Starmie's faster than you, and you're have a very low chance of winning if you get Speedfall.
Nice NPC movement.
Oh yeah, that happens sometimes. But yeah, so I guess not much to say. So if there's any donations, or if
Misty uses X defend, it is always kind of scary. Since without a crit, your next thrash will not kill. And then you could just get 3-turn thrash and get confused. You give Misty another turn to do something, and it just gets so chaotic. But
yeah.
Just crit forehead.
And crits ignore all stat changes, which is why the X defend didn't matter there.
Yeah, I'd be happy to jump in with a donation here.
I think you are muted.
I am.
Sorry.
I cannot hear you.
I'm muted?
No, you're fine. And
still can't hear you. I don't know if it's on your end or Fastest Furs.
Well, if Fair can hear me, then I think it's.
Yeah, I can hear you in the Discord. So
yeah.
So I would like to read another donation if we have time.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks for that kickback. And this one's from Anonymous, a donation of $52. Thank you for that donation of $52 with a very specific comment. Seems relevant to this run. I'm putting my foot down, and deception must be stopped. Dun, dun, dun. Ominous tones.
And there's one more naming incentive, which is much later on, if you want to stop the Andy train.
I wonder if it's related to that. And I would also like to let you know about our team Fastest Furs. This is a community of furry speedrunners that is welcoming and open to all. We currently host 2 online charity speedrun marathons per year in the spring and fall, and support ongoing community events throughout the year. Whether you are an active speedrunner or just someone who is curious about the hobby or our events, you can join our Discord by using the command !Discord in the chat. Could somebody throw that up, please? Thank you.
Very nice. These fights are pretty inconsequential now, especially at this HP. At the very high level, I mean, obviously, generally, even, you take a lot of damage from Misty. So you could take damage during these fights because there's a lot of Pokemon that know Quick Attack, but at such high HP, there is no danger at all.
Yeah. And we're approaching the third fight against Andy, and that fight is completely free in yellow. In red, that fight's a troll, because instead of a Spearow, Andy has a Pidgeotto, and it learns Sand Attack.
Yeah, in red, that is... A lot of people consider that the worst fight in the game, but in yellow it's completely free, and we love that.
Oh. Gosh.
These slots.
Okay, I think this fixes my menus.
Yeah, it should. Because mchan ran out of potions early on, the bag is messed up. The slots were different than what he's used to. After doing so many runs, your muscle memory kinda goes wild.
Alright, and the TM that we got from Misty is Bubble Beam, and we're going to teach Bubble Beam to our Nidoking. Nidoking can learn like a bunch of different TMs, which is kind of crazy. But it cannot learn Dig, the TM that we got from that rocket trainer that we fought earlier. Otherwise, Nidoking would be super busted, but what can you do?
You can't have everything. The ground type can't learn Dig, but it can learn Bubble Beam, it can learn so many other different moves we're gonna see. It's honestly wild. I don't know what they were thinking when they made this game.
Yeah.
I believe it can learn Dig in future games, just
Yes,
not in this one.
In Gen 3 and onwards, it can learn Dig.
But in that game, Ghastly has Levitate, so it's useless anyway. And you don't even use Nidoking.
So yeah, so we're fighting Andy again. We don't use Thrash in this fight because you cannot one-shot every Pokemon, so it's not worth using Thrash in this fight.
Yeah, plus it's 4 Pokemon, so even if you could one-shot every Pokemon with Thrash, you still would lead with Horn Attack, so as to not risk getting confused with a 3-turn Thrash.
To jump in here with another donation from Tammy, a donation of $100. Thank you so much, Tammy, for that donation. With a comment, no, ... must be Andy. And to update our current bid war, we have one name bid war open for Lapras, and it is currently named Andy.
Very nice.
And the Lapras name is not going to be for a while, so you have a lot of time to dethrone Andy.
Yeah, we need a Pokemon that can learn Surf and Strength. And there's kind of 2 options for that. There is of course the Lapras and Silphco, but also you can get a Squirtle as a gift after you beat Surge, and that works perfectly fine. It's just a tiny little bit slower than getting Lapras.
Yeah, and plus also Squirtle comes with 3 moves too, so you have to waste time deleting an extra move.
Oh, you're right. Good point.
So this is an optional trainer. You don't really fight this trainer in PB attempts, but this is an excellent safety. It makes the upcoming fight, Lieutenant Surge, much easier, as Surge under normal circumstances would actually outspeed you. So the fight can go in a lot of different ways, but here Surge will be much easier. And then the next part of the run is much easier with these extra levels.
You can see mchan leveled up from that fight and gets a rare candy behind the gentleman, so he will have leveled up twice compared to not fighting the gentleman, having a much easier Surge fight because of it. Surge being a pretty scary fight normally.
Yeah, it still can. There is still like a slight possibility where the fight can go wrong, but it's not that likely with these extra levels. So now the SSN leaves, and we're never going to go back to the SSN ever again.
Yeah, you do live Mega Kick crit even, so you're
at this
completely fine.
HP, yeah.
Do the candies make you outspeed the Raichu?
Yes.
Oh, that's actually sick.
Yeah. Alright, so this is the fan club. We are gonna get the bike voucher here. My favorite Rapidash. It cute, lovely, smart, plus amazing. You think so? Oh yes, it's stunning. Kindly love it. Hug it when sleeping, warm and cuddly, spectacular, ravishing. Oops, look at the time.
Yeah, we do see a Rapidash in this run, and it is not very lovely actually. Quite the opposite, in fact.
Alright. A little bit of menuing here.
Small menu, gonna teach cut to Charmander, and then cut the tree. And then it's time for the Surge puzzle. In Red version, you would actually manipulate this puzzle, but in Yellow they changed how the puzzle works, and it is faster on average to just YOLO cans and not manipulate it. And I believe, like, it's impossible to manipulate cans with a good IGT as well. You got top left. Very cool.
Okay, so with these extra levels here, especially at the HP that I have, I don't need to save.
Yeah,
so,
no, this fight is free. Asterisk.
Yeah. This, assuming Raichu does not growl, then this is a 2-turn fight. Otherwise, it'd be a 3-turn fight, sometimes 4. So this fight's very easy with these extra levels. Thunderbolt, no damage.
Nice. Extremely fine. This Raichu knows Mega Punch and Mega Kick, which can be really, really scary at lower HP. Usually, Mega Kick crit just means you're dead. In this case, because of the... Well, partly because of the extra candies, partly just because you're super high health, you would live Mega Kick crit anyway.
Yeah.
So you're just flying.
And, Surge can also use an X speed as well, which then Raichu would be faster than me. But even then, even with these extra levels, it's still like a very simple fight. So we're gonna go a little bit out of the way here. Go to Diglett's Cave and use Dig. And when you use Dig or an Escape Rope in Gen 1, it takes you back to the last Pokemon Center that you physically use. And the last Pokemon Center that I used was Cerulean City. So it takes me back to Cerulean City without having to backtrack to Cerulean City.
Yeah, very, very neat little optimization that is going to be used a lot in the later part of the run. We just got a small little menu here, really neat little menu. Kind of exemplifies how menus work in this game. You can see we swapped an item down that we are not going to use, and swapped that for an item that we want up top, the bicycle, that we are going to use a lot. Then you can see our menu resets after using up our TM, allowing us to not have to scroll back up to the top. Really, really neat little menu right there.
You also have the menu to use Cut, and unlike in every other game, where you can just talk to the trees and use Cut that way. All right, so this is the 4-turn Thrash Girl, because if everything goes well up to this point, this would be the only fight where you have to use where you have to rely on a 4-turn fight. At 73 HP, if I don't get the fourth turn, then it's still not that bad, but I have had a run. Fine. I've had a run where I died in this fight at 60 HP. Didn't get it.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Let's go. I love it. Oh, wait. Okay, there we go.
Aw. Alright, not too bad.
Yeah, that fight can go a lot worse. That Bellsprout also has Sleep Powder. And Sleep in Gen 1 is also probably just as bad as Trap moves.
Yeah, since it takes you an entire turn to wake up, unlike in future games where you can attack on the turn you wake up. And then Bellsprout could just put you back to sleep again.
Yeah. Or rap again, too. with the one full restore that I did pick up in the underground, I could use it to wake myself up immediately, but you really don't want to use that full restore if you don't have to.
Yeah, full restores are really super useful later in the game. And there's, I think 3 you can pick up in this game.
Yeah. But for this run, I'm actually gonna buy extra full restores just for a slight buffer of consistency.
Okay. Can respect that.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so we're approaching Rock Tunnel, the only dark dungeon in the game. It is very dark, normally it's supposed to be like this place where you're supposed to get Flash, just by going across Diglett's cave. We can't get Flash anyway, because it requires 10 Pokemon. And I don't have 10 Pokemon, but it's still not bad even without Flash, because you can see the walls around you. So it's not particularly blind movement.
Yeah, in high level runs, like very, very top level runs, in this section you'd want to be in red bar for that extra time save and jingle skips that we talked about earlier. But it's definitely not necessary. It matters a lot more in red than it does in yellow.
Yeah, you save if you can keep red bar throughout this entire stretch, then you save I want to say 20-ish seconds or more. In red you save between a minute and a half or something like that. It's very huge. Because in red bar skips incoming cries.
Yeah. This fight coming up right here, both these Pokemon are ranges.
Not with this XP.
Oh yeah, you're right, you got Gentle Mandy. Never mind.
Yeah. So this fight's free, but without the extra EXP, then you could have a few different outcomes in this fight. The Oddish and the Bulbasaur, they both sometimes survive Thrash, and they both know pretty bad moves like Stun Spore, Sleep Powder, Poison Powder, which never worry about Poison Powder.
Yep, that's one of the benefits from Nidoking not a lot of people talk about, is that it's poison type. Matters a lot in the early game when you're fighting Weedles and stuff, that you just can't get poisoned from Poison Sting. Super nice.
So earlier you saw me use a Repel while I had a Repel active, and that's only in Gen 1, and that just resets the Repel step count. Repels last for about 100 steps, so if you use another Repel while you still have a Repel active, you save the Repel text, telling you that Repel's effect wore off, and you don't need the full, we have 3 Repels, so you don't need the full 300 steps to get through Rock Tunnel.
I think we actually got quite a bit of leeway with that. But it's really nice that you can reapply repels before the previous one wears out in this game, because otherwise there'd just be a lot of menus where you just use a repel and then close the menu like there is in some other games, and that's lame.
Yeah,
we like doing a lot of
Gen
stuff
5,
in menus.
At least in Gen 5, you can actually use the game asks you if you want to use a repel again if it wears off, but that's not the case here.
Yeah, that's really nice too.
As we're kind of looking around in the dark here, I did want to let you know that we do have a current bid war open for our next game, the 3DS Kirby Bid War, where you can choose between DD Detour from Kirby Triple Deluxe or Meta Nightmare Returns from Kirby Planet Robobot. Those will be coming up following Pokemon Yellow.
Out of Rock Tunnel, and we're gonna go straight to the next place here.
Yeah, I got one more fight coming up right here. I mean, Growlithe is guaranteed with Gentleman Candy, right?
No, it's actually still a range, as I found
Really?
out recently.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
It's normally a really, really good range.
Yep.
with Bubble Beam. Okay, you got it. The Growlithe does know Ember, and it can burn you, which is simultaneously really funny and just really sad. Alright, are you... Wait, you got Gentleman Candy.
Yeah,
so
but
you
I
have
still need
extra
to,
money.
I still need to get the nugget.
Okay. Alright, so mchan's going to pick up a couple hidden items here. Looks like...
Did I pass
Here's-
it? I think I passed it. Where is it?
Yeah, I think you did.
Oh, I didn't?
Oh, did you? I don't know.
Oh my god.
I use an audio cue for this, which is much different in yellow than it is for red.
Okay,
'cause the added lag.
I know for sure I passed it. Okay, hold on,
boy.
let me reset this. This is fun.
Yeah.
Where is it? Okay, there we go.
Alright.
Okay. Yeah, as you can see, there's not a very
So
good visual
good.
cue to find that, so...
You gotta kinda count the bike pedals. Most people do.
Must have counted slightly too fast. So what I did there is another menu optimization. I actually... You don't see it, but I'm actually using the B button to get on the bicycle. And that's so you can get on the bicycle on the first possible frame. It's another one of those optimizations that people use to save as much time as possible in this game.
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of buffering techniques like that in a lot of the menus. And you can see, really see a real difference between, like, new runners of the game and people that have been running this for a long time. They'll save a lot of time in the menus because of those tricks.
Oh yeah, I still need to sell my nuggets, so let me do that real
Yeah.
quick. Again, this is a situation that you almost never really put yourself in, but my early game was so bad that you just have to roll with it.
You're definitely gonna have a lot of extra money left over because you got the money from the gentleman who gives you a ton and the nuggets, so you can probably buy a bunch of extra X items. Buying some drinks here, going to trade them to the girl right here for a couple of TMs, one for a very good move, and one for a, well, it's a move. It is definitely a move. Ice Beam's good.
Ice Beam is good.
And then this one is Rock Slide, which is it's necessary, but it's one of the moves of all time, we'll say. It is 90% accurate, and hopefully you will not be able to tell that it's 90% accurate. And then Chance just gonna buy a bunch of X items that boost your stats in this game. They are extremely overpowered, especially the X accuracies. In most Pokemon games, X accuracy like increases the accuracy stage of your active Pokemon, but in Generation 1 and 2, it just makes all of your moves hit, which is really, really insane. You can't even Gen 1 miss with an X accuracy up.
Oh yeah, that's something we haven't talked about yet.
Yep, you're gonna see it come into play.
So every move that has a 100% accuracy has a 1 out of 256 chance of missing, and that's what a Gen 1 miss is. So, it's pretty interesting if you do get a Gen 1 miss.
Yeah, it could be inconsequential, it could be run-ending, depending on the fight. And you can't really, you don't really play around that, because it's a 1 in 256 chance. But thankfully, if you use an X accuracy, you can't even Gen 1 miss. You're just gonna be taking a pretty large menu here, teaching a bunch of moves to Nidoking, using a Repel, teaching Horn Drill, teaching Rock Slide, doing a little swap right here to bring X accuracies up to the top of the bag. And then we're gonna teach Fly to Pidgey. Very nice. So in this next fight, you're going to see X accuracies come into play right here. This is gonna kind of be the stereotypical Gen 1 fight. So Horn Drill is a one-hit KO move, which means it just decimates the opponent, it just kills them. However, it has two restrictions. Number one, it's 30% accurate, and number two, you have to be faster than the opponent. Well, you have to be not slower than the opponent in order to use it. But fortunately, we're faster than all these Pokemon.
Yeah. Whoa! It's a one-hit KO!
Yeah. X accuracy, Horn Drill times 5. That's the fight.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we won't be seeing... I promise you that not every fight goes this way, because Horn Drill does have 5 power points in order to, you know, kind of have a trade back for how good it is.
Yep. PP management is a huge part of this route, because of Horn Drill's very, very limited PP. So we've already used them all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then this is also worth noting that this is where your rival's team starts to change here. As you saw there, he had a Shelder. Otherwise, if you're on Vaporeon, then he has a Vulpix instead. And like I said, Vulpix gives out less EXP than Shelder. So, but with the since I fought the Extra trainer in SS Anne, it doesn't matter really. But without the Gentleman EXP, then it does matter. All right, so here we are. We have to fight a few Chandlers as we climb our way to Pokemon Tower, and they all use Ghastlies. And we use... Oh, man. It begins.
Oh, okay, at least you got Nightshade.
Yeah. So, Ghastlies have pretty high special, and by special, I mean high special attack and high special defense, because special attack and special defense are not their own stats in this generation. So, if I use like Thunderbolt or Bubble Beam, it's not going to do that much damage to these Ghastlies.
Yeah, if Nidoking could learn Dig, these fights would be absolutely trivial. You just use Dig and win. But unfortunately, we can't have nice things, so we gotta rely on Rock Slide.
Yeah. Fortunately, you do use Rock Slide like a few times, like 4 times a total. So it's not that bad.
Yep, and we do get a free heal right here, so our HP is gonna be filled to the max. Yeah, these Ghastlies have a really, really troll moveset. You can see they have Nightshade, which just deals damage, which isn't too bad. But they have Confuse Ray, which is real bad, and they have Lick, which has a chance to paralyze you. Oh, come on! Wow.
Oh my goodness.
You're getting punished for saying it's not that bad.
Man!
Oh boy. Okay, Lick. No para.
Okay.
Okay, wow.
So, given how those two fights went, that means this last fight's gonna go well, right?
Yeah. Rock Slide is now 60% accurate, apparently. Hopefully we can up that average a little bit.
This is the last opportunity for Rock Slide. Okay, there we go. That's much better.
Nice.
That's how it's supposed to go.
We only need Rock Slide for these Ghastlies. It's pretty stupid. That is the only reason we even get Rock Slide, because it's just such a horrible move.
And there's been several times where we try to find a way to skip using Rock Slide, but they just never work out.
We have an opportunity to read a couple donations?
Yes.
Fantastic. And you're doing great with this run. We're really enjoying it. So we've got a donation from Tammy for $25. Comment is, I don't see an option to bid for Andy for Kirby.
Oh boy.
Say it isn't
Okay.
so, something that isn't an Andy. And we do have one more donation. This is from Anonymous, $30 with no comment. Thank you so much, Anonymous. We really appreciate those donations. All donations for this charity are going to the Fastest FursFall Fest benefiting Trans Lifeline.
Okay, so what you just saw there is probably something that people are going to complain. What is this guy doing? He said glitchless. So Polka Doll allows you to basically run away from a fight, and that right there is the only sequence break that we do in the entire game, which skips the entire Team Rocket section. You might notice that we didn't even do the Team Rocket section in Celadon City, and we also didn't take on the gym yet, as this is the point where the game really starts to open up. So this is actually the longest stretch that we're not going to be fighting a gym for a while.
Yep. Towards the end, we're just kind of gonna do a boss rush of sorts and fight all the rest of the gyms. Boom, 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 rapid fire. Yeah. After we get this Poke-Flu right here, we're going to fly to Celadon and take the Pokemon Center, and that's actually mostly to set our warp point to Celadon. Celadon is a very, very useful location to us because, number one, it's got a gym there that we are going to need to fight sometime. Number two, it is next to Saffron City, which has a gym and another location that we need to visit. And number three, to the west, it's got an exit that can lead us to Fuchsia City, so very, very useful location to us.
Probably the point where if you've played this for the very first time, you probably got stuck here. But it turns out you need either the freshwater soda pop. The lemonade does not work on these guards.
Wait, really? It doesn't?
Yeah, no, it does not.
Wow. Did not know that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Most expensive option does not work.
Alright, so here we are in Silphco. Normally a very long dungeon because it's 10 floors, lots of fighting, but we're gonna go through this place as fast as we can. Nice.
Nice, got the scroll.
So we're actually gonna head up to the 10th floor right away, and we're gonna be fighting this optional trainer right here. He's blocking 3 really good items, and these 3 items are really good that it's worth coming up here just to get those items.
Yeah, if you fight Giovanni at the top of Silphco, this guy will actually disappear. But one of these items is the TM for Earthquake, which is a super powerful move that we are definitely going to need for the upcoming fights here. So it's worth it to just fight this guy now.
So another menu optimization that I do sometimes is X accuracy is on the 3rd slot of my bag menu. And so what I do in order to get to the 3rd slot quickly is I press right as I'm holding down in order to get to X accuracy easier. It's easier than pressing down twice.
Yep. You can see that mchan just used a Carbos on Nidoking. And that is actually because of a fight much, much later in the game. Champion, actually. Champion has an Alakazam. An Alakazam is extremely fast, and we need to be able to outspeed it. And there's 2 real ways to outspeed it, depending on your route. You could get an extra rare candy to outspeed it, or you could do what mchan's doing and get 2 Carbos, which increase your speed. So we are, even right now, we are preparing for the final fight in the game.
So now that we taught Earthquake, and right away, Earthquake has a benefit here. The Earthquake will one-shot this Arbok. Otherwise, without Earthquake, you probably have to either Thrash or X Accuracy Horn Drill. And this Arbok has Glare, which can paralyze you.
Yeah, Earthquake is super powerful, 100 base power. It's ground type, so Nidoking gets same type attack bonus on it. It's really just used when you need a high damage, high power move. But it is a flash animation, so it is kind of slow to use.
So coming up is Andy for the 5th time, and this is where he starts to evolve his Eevee. And so he's gonna have a Flareon because I won the first rival fight.
Yeah, this fight
and this is where the strats for your rival fight change depending on what route you're doing.
It is pretty trivial though. We do need to set up one X item on Sandslash, but we are completely safe from any harm.
What is the Lapras name?
So I do have the Lapras name here. Got to run for the money here, but we ended up with Andy.
Wow, who could have guessed?
Who could have guessed?
Actually, I could have guessed, but I'm a pretty smart guy, so.
I don't know. I was thinking we get something else.
Thinking not Andy was going to win out there. And then just another quick announcement for you. We're excited to offer 3 brand new marathon shirts exclusive to Fall Fest 2022 with unisex and women's options designed by artists in our Fastest First community. Use the command !merch in chat if somebody could throw that in there. For a link to our merch store where you can check out original designs from Arakun14, Heki, and Flux. Shirts are $20. And all proceeds from merch sales will be donated to Trans Lifeline. Marathon shirts will only be available until the end of the event, so don't miss out on your chance to pick one up today.
Alright, don't
We're
forget
gonna get our
Lapras.
Lapras here.
It always feels bad when you forget Lapras. Have to kind of circle back.
Alright, let's do this.
Ooh, switch things up. Lowercase letters, I like it.
Lowercase. And so this is our final team throughout the whole game.
And we got another Jesse and James fight. The final Jesse and James fight, actually.
Yep. And once again, not very exciting.
Yeah, they're pushovers. Just gonna Earthquake 3 times and win. I don't know why they still have a Meowth. They should really evolve it. I know it is.
I think it's anime rules. Yeah, anime rules.
They should have at least leveled it up a bit.
Oh yeah, it's also worth noting that these trainers are kind of around our level because you're supposed to be doing this at around the time that you do the 6th gym. But since we haven't done a gym in a while, they kind of catch up to us in level for a bit.
Alright, now we're coming up on a fight that can prove to be a little bit difficult. You're safe at this HP, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm safe from this HP.
Giovanni's Persian is a range with Earthquake. It's a favorable range, but slightly better than a coin flip.
But Giovanni says he meets us again, even though we didn't meet him at all, ever. So I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, he's... I don't know what he's on. Persian is just faster than you, that's right. And missed the range.
Don't flinch, please. Alright.
Crits. Very nice. Persian, being another high-speed Pokemon, has a very high likelihood to crit. It also knows Slash, which is a high crit move. And with Persian's speed, Slash will crit 255 out of 256 times. Pretty silly when it doesn't crit that.
Yeah, and you can also Gen 1 miss the crit as well.
So now, after this fight, it's a pretty long stretch with no fights until we got a bunch of really difficult fights in a row. So it's just going to be a lot of menuing, a lot of biking, a lot of execution.
So I'll go ahead and take this opportunity then to give a little bit more information about our marathon. Throughout the weekend, we welcome donations of all sizes in support of our charity, Trans Lifeline. You don't even need to make a big donation to make a big impact. Just $25 connects one person in need to the Trans Lifeline peer support hotline. Even a $5 donation, when combined with 4 other people donating the same $5, can have a meaningful impact on someone's life. Please consider donating now by typing !donate in the chat and let your friends know how they can help as well. If we could just get some of those Trans Ally emotes in the chat, I would appreciate it. Hard to believe we're already at the $11,915 mark for the marathon. Congratulations to everybody, and thank you to all of our donors.
All right, so something interesting about here in Cycling Road is I'm actually you can actually let go of your controller and it goes down automatically. So this is a really good point to where you can like rest your hands for a bit, because you do have to press a lot of buttons in this game constantly. Also, if you're on Vaporeon, there's a hit of PP up that you have to pick up and you use it on Horn Drill, so you can have 6 power points and you use that for a fight, particularly the one in Viridian City, and you use Horn Drill all 6 times on Vaporeon route.
Yeah, Vaporeon does not die to an earthquake, while Flareon does, which is why the routes kind of differ at this point. Mchan's gonna be biking around these trees right here. It's funny, in red version, it's faster to cut the trees and have a straight shot to the Safari Zone, but in yellow, because of the extra menu lag that happens, it's very slightly faster to just bike around.
So here we are in Safari Zone, normally a place where you can catch a lot of different Pokemon, but we're not interested in catching any of the Pokemon here. We already have the best Pokemon in the game, so no need. This would be a very crazy place in if you're running the round 2 category of Fire and Leaf Green. But this is not Fire and Leaf Green, so we just go straight to the end.
You can just go into the area designed for you to catch Pokemon, do the Giga Chad move of just repelling throughout, and grabbing a couple items.
And no need to worry about getting to the very end and be 1 step short.
Mchan picked up another full restore. It's going to be very useful for the Elite Four.
And we're going to gold seeds because you required.
And the HM for Surf right here.
And then just dig out of here.
And next we are going to be going to our next gym fight, which is a pretty difficult fight, I'd say.
Yeah. So coming up is Sabrina, the gym leader of Psychic Pokemon. And Psychic is, of course, super effective against poison types. And so you might be thinking, how am I going to do it? I don't know. I'm really scared. As Sabrina is notoriously the hardest gym leader if you've played this game casually.
Yeah, easily one of the hardest fights in the game. Even compared to Red and Blue, her levels are boosted in Yellow. I believe her Alakazam's all the way at level 50, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And no save, interesting choice.
Oh, right. Alright, hopefully I don't die.
Okay. Yep, just hope and pray.
Okay, so Abra, it's on level 50. How am I gonna do it? Okay, X defend. Alright.
Alright, very good. No damage right there.
Yeah. Uses Flash. Uh-oh, that's not good. Oh, oops. That's not what I want to do. But we win from here. Okay.
Yeah. Just trolling. This fight is actually completely free. This is the only fight in the game that you literally cannot lose if you make the right inputs. Which is really funny.
Okay, so what do I do here? I'm 1 Horngill short.
Oh, you did horn drill the Abra, right? Okay.
Yeah, on accident.
Oh, I thought I thought you were still memeing. Do you? Wait, you take mom? Are you taking mom heal? Oh wait, no, you need Koga. You need 4 for Koga, and you have 3, right?
Yeah.
Does EQ kill Venonat? I would imagine it does.
No, not one hit.
Oh, it does not one hit?
Yeah, no.
Oh boy. You could, you might just have to give Venonat another turn, or just crit.
Yeah. My HP is pretty good to where I could probably afford it, so...
Yeah, you're gonna save beforehand anyway, right? I'd imagine.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I mean, I think you'll be fine, just like EQing Venonat.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, now that that's over, we're gonna be taking on Koga. As you can see, we're taking on these gyms like way out of order. I guess we're fighting Koga in the correct order, as this is gonna be our 5th gym badge that we're gonna be getting, and Koga is supposed to be the 5th gym leader. But every other gym leader, with the exception of the 8th gym, will be done in out of order. This game opens up quite a bit.
Yeah, the only real requirement in this section is that you defeat Koga before Blaine, because Koga gives you the badge that allows you to use Surf, which you need in order to reach Blaine.
Yep.
This fight coming up here has a Drowsy and a Hypno. Hypno does not die to an Earthquake unless you crit, and it has Confusion, which even at high HP can be a troll if it crits or confuses. Hopefully we won't see that. Pretty safe though.
Yeah. This would be the best crit in the game if we get it. Oh, we Gen 1 missed!
No! Okay, I see.
Okay, disable.
Wow.
Okay, that's
pretty
fine.
high roll. Okay, that's good. That's the first Gen 1 miss, I think, right?
Yeah, that is the first Gen 1 miss.
Luckily, it was inconsequential. So Koga is
definitely gonna save. This fight's free in red, but not so much in this game.
Yeah, this fight sucks real bad. He's got 3 Venonats and a Venomoth, and you need to set up 2 X items. And the Venonats have a pretty troll moveset. They got a bunch of status-inflicting moves. You can be put to sleep. You can be paralyzed, I believe.
Yeah, the first Venonat has sleep powder. The second one does not, which is why we are going to set him X speed on the second Venonat.
Alright.
And the X speed is so we can outspeed the Venomoth.
Wow, that's very good.
Okay, let's.
Nice.
I'm gonna see if Earthquake kills this.
Yeah, I forgot you need to EQ.
Oh, it does not. Okay, X attack, that's fine.
Okay, very good. Alright.
Yeah.
You're good. Okay. PP's back on track now.
Yep.
Alright, and this fight is just free from here. That was a really good Koga, actually. Didn't get trolled at all.
With the exception of having to, waste a turn, but yeah.
Yeah, that didn't really have anything to do with this fight, though.
If the first Venonat uses Psychic and you get crit and a Special Fall, then you cannot win the fight.
Yeah, Venonat's pretty slow, so the crit rate is not a lot, and Psychic is, I think, 1 in 3 to lower Special.
Something like that.
This fight can just get really trolled, because he can just get Chain put to sleep, and then have to use the Poke Flute in order to wake back up, which is a really, really long jingle. I'm glad that that's over with. One of the most annoying fights in the game, if not the most annoying.
And we do have another donation to read. This is from Prism Lizard. donating $7.58. That's a very specific number. Keeping the whole donations for your favorite Pokemon train going, here's $7.58 in honor of Salazzle. My favorite Salazzle. It's lithe, sexy, smart, plus devious. You think so? Oh, yes, it's stunning. Sneaky, love it. Smell it when sleeping. Warm and powerful, spectacular, ravishing. Oops, look at the time. I kept you too long. Thanks for hearing me out. I want you to have this.
Love the Gen 7 reps. So right now, mchan is doing the longest menu in I believe the entirety of Gen 1 Glitchless. This is an absolutely huge menu. Kind of new technology doing it here. I believe it was recently proven it was faster to do the menu here than outside the Strength House, which is when it was traditionally done. You're going to be teaching a lot of moves here, doing a lot of swaps. Rare Candy, Nidoking. It's a huge menu.
I also used Mom to heal. It's slower, not by much, but this saves having to use a 4-star and an elixir. This means that later on I'll have 1 extra elixir to work with if I happen to be low on power points for some reason.
Yep, we love our supportive mothers here.
So this is the Pokemon Mansion here in Cinnabar Island, and it's pretty straightforward. We just gotta get the secret key. Something we didn't explain yet about repels is that repels only work on lower level Pokemon, and we're level 43, and there's a chance where we can encounter level 43 to level 45 Raticates or Rattatas, and it's about a 5% chance to get an encounter of either one of those. So we just hope that we don't get an encounter as we get through this place.
Yeah, also kind of throws off your menuing if you do get an encounter, because your cursor resets after a battle.
Yeah. Also, that item that I just skipped over is the Blizzard TM, and in the most optimum route of this game, you would get Blizzard and skip Ice Beam, but it's very risky. It's only worth it if you're going for world record, and Blizzard is really powerful, but it has 90% accuracy. So, and in a lot of cases where you use Blizzard, if you miss Blizzard, then you're probably gonna die.
Correct. A notable instance where Blizzard is just awful is in the champ fight, where you have to land a Blizzard from a Pokemon that is on a Pokemon that is really, really dangerous, and you could just die to anyway. And it's a range on that Pokemon. So, world record runs of this game are just really, really scary in this later part of the game.
Alright, so now that we got the secret key, we are going to go inside the gym now. I'm not saying yes to every single question. I'm actually, for some questions, I actually press B to say no. So that's the only noteworthy thing to talk about with this gym. Otherwise, more donations or announcements are fine up until we get to Blaine.
So I'd like to make another announcement. One of our sponsors, Fastest FursFall Fest 2022, is sponsored by Cowcat Games. Check out their most recent release, Brock the Investigator, now on Steam and GOG. Brock delivers a narrative-rich, fully voice-acted experience in a futuristic cyberpunk world where animals have replaced humans. The story is filled with characters reminiscent of classic 80s and 90s cartoons, and combines a classic adventure with beat-em-up RPG elements. Download the prologue now and play the first 6 chapters for free on Steam, and donate at least $5 for a chance to win a copy of the full game on Steam for yourself. You can find them on Twitter at CowcatGames.
Alright, so Blaine, very free and red, but not so much here in this game. So let's see what happens here. We're going to use Earthquake basically on all 3 of his Pokemon. We're going to use an X attack on the second Pokemon in order to guarantee a one-shot on Arcanine, the third Pokemon. However, Rapidash has Growl, which would mean that I have to rely on a rely on a crit for Arcanine if Rapidash is a Growl. Did not see Growl, so this fight's basically free.
Very nice.
Rapidash also has Fire Spin, which is a trap move, and that's not what you want to see.
Yeah, if you get growled, unless you crit, you have to spend an extra turn on Arcanine, and Arcanine does have Fire Blast, which deals a ton of damage, and I believe crit Fire Blast just straight up kills from full.
Yeah. So you're not super likely to die. At full HP, you're not very likely to die.
Yeah, that would be content.
It's something I didn't mention on the Sabrina fight is you might notice I stopped getting TMs from the gym leaders, and that's because we basically all the points where we're not fighting a gym leader basically set us up to where we have so many items that gym leaders cannot give us their TMs, and we don't need their TMs. So having 20 items skips them, like giving them their TMs.
Does Yellow version have the badge boost glitch whenever stat changing moves occur? Yes, it does. It has the badge boost mechanic. We don't really consider it a glitch, more just like a mechanic of how the game works that is unintended, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, so in the case here, the reason we're fighting Erica as the 7th gym is because Blaine gives us the special badge boost.
Yeah, without the special badge, I believe Erica's Pokemon would be ranges.
Yeah, they would be ranges, so we fight Blaine as 6 in order to guarantee these ranges here on Erica.
There is a route where you actually flex doing certain gym leaders in certain orders to preserve red bar. And in some cases, Erica can be a bad fight because her Pokemon can be ranges.
Yeah.
But if you're not worrying about red bar, better to just do this route. Red bar does not really save a ton of time anyway.
Yeah, in that route, one of Erica's Pokemon, I forget which one, but one of Erica's Pokemon is Constrict, which is a trap move.
Constrict's not the trap move. It's Bind.
Oh, Bind. Okay. Okay, so we have all 7 gym leaders defeated, and now the only gym that we have to do now is the 7th gym, or the 8th gym, which is in Viridian City. Who could the gym leader be?
I don't know. It's a really difficult puzzle. I'm just waiting in suspense, wondering what the 8th gym leader is gonna be. I think it's gonna be Bill, personally.
Or Andy, as someone said in the chat. Andy. Yeah, so this is like a variety gym. Basically, the gym trainers here in this gym, they use like a bunch of different Pokemon. This upcoming trainer, the Black Belt trainer, very notorious in Red, but the worst that could happen with this fight in Yellow is you could be at an HP. You could leave this fight at an HP where you have to heal for Giovanni. That's really it. So.
Yeah, not really anything worth worrying about here. Just gonna X attack and then spam Earthquake right here. It should be good. And Karate Chop. Karate Chop crit. Karate Chop is a high crit move. Machoke does not have enough base speed, however, in order to get the max crit rate on it. I think it's roughly like 75%, I want to say, give or take. I'm not sure of the exact percentage.
Hope it's the Bug Catcher.
The first trainer in the game. I'm back.
Yeah, that would be funny.
I have a Butterfree now. That'd actually be pretty bad if it could live Ice Beam, because Butterfree could have a pretty troll moveset if you have to set up on it.
So I left the gym. And it resets the positions. It's faster than taking these little sliding panels.
Yeah, those are incredibly slow.
Giovanni.
In the Yellow Glitchless Classic category, where you have to do the Team Rocket hideout, you can see a lot of use of those spinny pads, and they're extremely slow. So, mchan saved for this fight, and there's a very good reason for that. This fight is one of the worst fights in the game, because you have to set up on this Doug trio right here, and take a hit from it. And the Doug trio is extremely fast.
Nice!
And if you get crit, you die. Very good. Alright,
so, normally, so Doug trio has Dig and Earthquake, which are scary moves, and if you do get hit by Dig or Earthquake, with assuming that you live, then you could die to the Persian. But here we have no chance of dying to the Persian, so from here we just win.
Fast fight.
Yeah.
You got Guard Spec and then Screech Fail. That's insane. Yeah, this is kind of the start of what a lot of people call the crit gauntlet, which is just a lot of fights kind of in a row where if you get crit, you die. And it's horrible in PB attempts because you get on a really good pace run and then just die to Geo, die to Lorelei, die to Lance, die to Champ because you got crit and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, some of these Pokemon have like a 20% crit rate, which doesn't seem likely, but you think about how many like low odds that you got past up to get to this point, that it's bound to happen.
Alright, all the gym leaders done now. Now we can start heading towards the Elite Four.
Yep.
I'm gonna do a small menu outside here. Do a couple things. Going to use a Super Repel.
I don't need to heal because that Giovanni fight went so well.
True.
On Vaporeon, you would have to use an Elixir here, as you do need the power points to use Horn Drill all 6 times for this upcoming fight.
Would this be a good time to make an announcement?
Sure.
So I did want to let everybody know that we do still currently have a bid war open for the 3DS Kirby bid war that's going to be following Pokemon Yellow. You can choose between DDD Tour from Kirby Triple Deluxe or Meta Nightmare Returns from Kirby Planet Robobot. If you're making a donation, go ahead and just send it towards one of those bid wars, and that will be the next game we play. Thank you.
Unfortunately, we saw a slash there. Had I not seen that, my HP would have been really good to where I can actually skip using the center in the Indigo Plateau. Oh well, what can you do?
Yep, can't really do anything about that. Sandslash is another Pokemon that is nearly guaranteed to crit Thrash. I believe the base speed you need in order to crit Thrash 255 out of 256 times is 64. And oh yeah, Slash.
Yeah.
Did I say Sandslash?
You said you said Thrash earlier. So.
Oh, I thought it said Thrash. Okay.
Yeah.
There's so many things that sound the same in this game. But yeah, minimum base speed is 64 in order to always crit Slash, and Sandslash has 65 base speed.
Yeah, it's unbelievably massive.
So after this fight is another pretty long just executions section with no fights. Well, hopefully no fights. No trainer battles, we'll say.
Yeah. Gen 1 is nice in the fact that there are no trainers where like they move around like in every other generation, so as long as you move correctly throughout the entire game, you should never hit an optional.
Yeah,
So we gotta confirm our badges here. What's that?
There is one spinner in this game, in Pokemon Mansion, but he has a sight range of 0, so you have to talk to him.
Yeah. So if I was at higher HP and I was opting to skip the Indigo Plateau Center, then there's a Max Ether that I could pick up here. But since I have to heal, there's no point in me getting that Max Ether.
Yeah, this is really the point in PB attempts where your nerves really start going. And you can see that the bike music doesn't play here. That is a new addition to Yellow. In Red and Blue, the bike music would be playing here, but
yeah, and the bike music is so annoying.
It's horrible. The bike music in every Pokemon game you really grow to hate. It's so nice when they don't have it in games. Oop. Here too, you can see.
So I used the repel there. You're supposed to use the repel like earlier. You saw me risk the 2 tiles, but I prefer this repel route throughout Victory Road because it makes the movement much nicer, in my opinion.
Very nice swag boulder there.
Yeah. It's actually slower, but you know. We're just here to show off the run, not do a PB attempt.
Yeah, a swag boulder is kind of a term people use to refer to
Shoutouts to Extra Tricky.
Facing one way when pushing a boulder another way. And it costs 2 frames for most of them. But
nice.
It's pretty cool. Very good. That's extra swag, because on that one you can do an optimal swag boulder if you face up. Alright, we got a pretty long boulder here. This and the next boulder are just really, really long. And you push them so slow. Especially compared to Red version, if you're used to seeing that. The next boulder is going to look really, really slow, and that's just from all the extra lag because of the colors.
Nothing like a speedrun with a long boulder push.
Oh, you're getting extra encounter chances, too, by doing the swag boulders here. So it's ultimate swag. Yeah.
Yeah, so there are high-level Pokemon here, just like in Pokemon Mansion. So, when you get to this point, you're just really hoping for no encounters.
So we do have another donation. This one's from Mr. Shasta, donating $10. Hopefully that name looks familiar. The comment is, Pengu. And we do have some more action on the Bid Wars for the 3DS Kirby Bid War. Neck and neck between DD Detour and Meta Nightmare Returns.
Yeah, it's only on this floor of Victory Road, which is this section right here, and then you re-enter this floor for like a very, very small section at the very end. But it's only this floor where you can get Onyx encounters. But hopefully that's all the encounters we'll see, unless mchan gets very unlucky. Using our last repel. Yeah, this boulder you can see it's moving at a snail's pace.
Yeah, on this floor there's Moltres, and that's an extra sprite.
Swag boulder's a little trickier to time.
Yeah. Can I get the button? Yes!
Nice!
So there's an extra full restore here, but I'm intending to buy full restores, so I'm not going to pick up that extra full restore.
Yep, it's like a
I have 2 full restores, so in normal circumstances I wouldn't actually pick it up. But if you're one short, if you only have one, then that hidden full restore is worth it.
mchan's going to go to the PC and deposit all of his Pokemon except Nidoking.
Goodbye, Andy.
That is because in the Hall of Fame at the very end of the run, all your Pokemon scroll past just just to make them feel special, you know. And it costs about it costs a lot of time per Pokemon. So the less Pokemon you have in the Hall of Fame, the faster it goes by. So it's worth it to take the extra time to deposit your Pokemon beforehand.
So, the Pokemon League, 5 fights in a row. Most of them are very free in red, but there's a little bit more that can go wrong in yellow. Starting up in the first fight here, where Lorelei has, like, very, very specific AI. We'll see what happens here. Dugong has Rest, Aurora Beam, and Bubble Beam. Hopefully we see Rest. Yep, there we go. Free fight.
Very good.
Bubble Beam can speedfall you, which means you have to use an X speed. And you want to have an X speed for Agatha later on. So it is bad if you get speedfall here.
Yeah. I guess with the extra money you could have bought an extra X speed.
Oh, that's true. Did they sell X speeds in that mart?
In Celadon you buy X speeds.
Oh, okay, yeah, I could have, but oh well.
That's okay. Not gonna matter anyway. Yeah, interesting thing about that Jinx in particular, in the 3DS Virtual Console re-release of Yellow, they changed Jinx's skin color to purple, so it is the only Pokemon that has 5 colors in its sprite, which is, I don't know, pretty interesting. Someone probably found that interesting.
Then I'm going to... I moved the floor store up to the top just so it's easier to access my floor stores.
Yep, not gonna need the bicycle from here on out. Hopefully not.
Can't bike in here. So here's Bruno. With this HP, it's super free. We're gonna set up on Hitmonchan, which is his second Pokemon. And the Hitmonchan has Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, and Ice Punch, and Double Team. Ice Punch can freeze, Fire Punch can burn, Thunder Punch does nothing, and Double Team will do nothing to us. Double Team!
Alright, I cannot hear you right now. I think the audio just went out again.
Am I... Hello? Can Ferric hear me?
Yeah, your audio is just fine.
Oh.
Oh, you can hear him on stream? Okay, I just can't hear mchan right now.
Probably refresh Discord. Okay, so with Bruno defeated, up next is Agatha. Agatha has a lot of different outcomes that the spike can have, depending on how the first 2 Pokemon go.
Okay, there we go. It's better now.
So we're gonna first off start off by using an X speed. After the X speed, Gengar, which is her first Pokemon, can either use Substitute, Mega Drain, Confuse Ray, or Lick. So we'll see what happens here. Substitute just wastes time, so this sucks already.
Just use Mega Drain, please.
Confuse Ray, this is not good.
Oh boy.
Please hit through. Alright, good.
Can be a troll.
So we got through the trolliest Pokemon. Up next is Golbat, which isn't that bad.
What moves does this Golbat have in yellow? I forget.
That has Wing Attack. Okay, so we snapped out. That's good. So now the rest of the fight's free.
You got Ice Beam again.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has Wing Attack, Toxic. In red it has Haze, but I don't know if it has Haze in this game. But it doesn't matter now, because the rest of the fight's basically free.
Alright. Got a little troll at the beginning, but did not really end up mattering. And you don't have to heal.
Yeah, so not having to heal for the next fight is very good.
Yeah, next fight is something for sure.
Yeah. So up next is Lance, and Lance has 5 Pokemon, starting off with Gyarados, who will always use Hydro Pump due to an AI that we call Good AI or Smart AI, and Hydro Pump either. Oh my god, I talked to her twice. Hydro Pump will always crit you. Will always defeat you in one hit if you crit. So we use an X special so that we don't get one shot by the Gyarados. And even if you survive Hydro Pump, it's still not over because you can still die by Lance's Dragonairs, depending on how much HP you have out of Hydro Pump. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, they really gave the Elite Four much better movesets in Yellow. In Red, the Dragonairs will just spam Agility because of smart AI thinking that even though Agility is a non-damaging move, because it's Psychic type, it's super effective against Nidoking. But in Yellow, they got Ice Beam, they got Bubble Beam. It's pretty bad. All right,
also, Hydro Pump is an 80% accuracy move, so it can miss, which is the best scenario if it misses, but...
Not over yet.
Yeah, it's not over yet. Alright, so at this HP, I'm actually going to use an Ice Beam on this one, on this Dragonair, and then set up for the second Dragonair. Unfortunately, this second Dragonair has Bubble Beam, and Bubble Beam can Speedfall you, which sucks. Okay, so use Ice Beam. Okay, alright, we're good.
Nice. Very good fight.
What Ice Beam can freeze you, and if you get frozen, you cannot thaw out unless you get hit by a fire move. Which is really bad in normal circumstances, but because I bought extra full restores, I can just simply use a full restore.
Yep, we got one more fight left, and really one more chance to die.
Yeah. This is actually really good for one death.
Yeah, I was about to say, one death is really, really good for this point in the game. And not even at like a fight that you commonly die on. Crit Gauntlet has been very, very nice so far.
Yeah, for sure. I've definitely made myself up for how bad my early game went.
Yeah.
And we will be closing the 3DS Kirby Bid War at the end of this run. So please feel free to donate and earmark those donations towards either DD Detour or Meta Nightmare Returns. We've got about 15 minutes left on the run, and we're about $75 away from the $12,000 mark. I think we can do it, guys. Let's go.
Okay, here we go. So Sandslash will always use Earthquake. So please live. Living is basically means that the rest of the fight is pretty straightforward. Nice!
Very good. Alright, that's the last opportunity to die in the game. All barring a Gen 1 miss.
Oh, yeah.
Still gotta use an Earthquake on Alakazam. There is still some RNG left in this fight. So you gotta set up on Executor. It can't kill you, but it can waste time.
Yeah, Executor can use Hypnosis, and that wastes time because I have to wake up my Nidoking. Goes for Hypnosis. Now, actually, with Red Bar, if I use the Poke Flute, it skips the jingle, just like that. Okay, one Hypnosis is not bad.
Nice, nice. So the rest of the fight is completely free from here.
Yeah. The next Pokemon is Magneton, and Magneton has very, very low range. It's very low to miss the range here. It's a less favorable range on Vaporeon, but on Flareon you're more likely to kill the Magneton. But yeah, from here on out we just basically win. So
it is
oh, go on.
The Magneton is a 36 and 39 range, and that's kind of another route difference, with some routes that use the rare candy to outspeed Alakazam instead of the 2 Carvos. I believe that Magneton is not a range.
I do not remember. It's been a while since I've used that route.
Right, nice, though.
Yeah, so that's Pokemon Yellow. Time's within like a minute and a half from now. But aside from the very unfortunate start, once we got past that, the rest of the run just went really well.
Yeah, super clean run, honestly, especially the late game.
Yeah, I got all the minips, which is what I was most worried about coming into this. And that's really awesome. I do want to thank the Fastest First staff for giving me an opportunity to participate at this event again. With my last marathon participation being Link's Awakening Deluxe at the Abortion Marathon. And I'm happy to be able to participate again, and also be the first to represent a Pokemon game onto Fastest Furs. Been a lot of fun.
Hey, GG, looking to be a really good time for a marathon.
Yeah. Time. 2:03:22.
Very nice.
My PB is 1:57 1x. I forget exactly, but you know, for a Pokemon run for a marathon, you could really only hope for so much. So I'd say this is a really good run. I'm happy with it. If you're interested in learning this game, knowing more about this game, learning this game, or even any of the Pokemon speedruns, we do have a server for basically the entire Game Boy series of the Pokemon games. If you are interested in learning either Yellow, Red, Blue, Ruby, Sapphire, Fire, Leaf Green, Emerald, and then Gold, Silver, and Crystal, we're a very helpful community and we provide tons of resources and are always willing to help people out getting started. Pokemon speedruns are, in general, like, kind of daunting at first because there's a lot to take note of when starting out, but it's very satisfying once you get a run going. So, anything that you want to say, Primal?
GG, congrats on a very clean run. Thanks for letting me commentate. It's very nice. Yeah, join the Discord server if you want to learn a Pokemon Gen 1 to 3 speedrun. Very, very welcoming community.
And yeah, I think that's it for us. So thanks for watching the run, and stay tuned for the upcoming run, which I believe is Kirby?
That's right. And we'll be closing the bid war here shortly. If you would like to weigh in on which 3DS Kirby game we're going to play, you have a little bit of time left. There's DDD Tour, which is currently in the lead by $5, and Meta Nightmare Returns. We're also $75 away from the $12,000 mark, which is just staggering. What a fantastic marathon we have going here. All proceeds are going to be benefiting the Trans Lifeline. In addition to their crisis hotline and support services, the Trans Lifeline Microgrants program offers grants for legal name changes, updated name and gender markers on IDs and passports, immigration documents, and more. Microgrants are available periodically throughout the year, and you can subscribe to be notified when applications are open. To learn more about this program, including how to apply for a microgrant, please visit translifeline.org/microgrants. Thank you so much to our runner. Boy, that was just a fantastic run of Pokemon Yellow. Little bit of a nail biter at the beginning, but our pro mchan worked his way through it and did a wonderful job surging there towards the end. Pokemon Yellow, any % glitchless. And thank you also to his commentator, Primal Pizza, who provided some fantastic commentary as well. Very, very fun run.